So 70% of developers worry about the live service model sustainability.
What do you mean? It's great.
Live service is ruining gaming.
We need that image of Kermit the Frog drinking the tea, being like, you don't say. So nearly a third are very concerned about the future of the trend. You know what's going to happen with this? They're going to look and go, all right, this current way we do live service simply isn't fucking working anymore. People, one, don't have the money to spend, and two, don't want to spend the money on this type of shit. Said it before, say it again. Helldivers 2, and I've spoken to a few people about this, and even interesting, some people that don't like the game. But you know what the one thing everyone agrees on? That's how you do a fucking live service.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2 is how you do a live service.
Yep.
Well, dude, what's happening with most of these games, like Apex and Warzone, is when they're adding stuff, they're actually breaking the game. Because I don't know if it's just because the game engines are so fucking old, and people are actually scared for updates. So you should not be scared that the game's gonna be broken when there's a new fucking update that comes. It's so fucked.
Yeah, it's absolutely fucking munted, dude. And like, now's a good time for this as well because of that Ubisoft fucking Star Wars Outlaws with its season pass, where, you know, there's the comparison. Well, Arkham Knight technically did have a season pass, but that was just all future DLC, and all of that DLC was not taken out of the vanilla game.
Yeah.
It was all shit that happened after the game, whereas Star Wars Outlaws is they're removing Jabba the Hutt's mission and selling it to you separately. You go, well, that's fucking cut out of the game and sold separately, okay? So now there's a good time to look at this live service. There's always been a good time, but now's a really good time to look at this current live service model and be like, no, this ain't it. It doesn't fucking work. People are cracking the shits more now, which is a fucking good thing. All right, and further on down here, it talks about Warner Brothers, okay? So, again, say what you will, however you feel about that Hogwarts Legacy game, it's still sold like fuck, all right? Later, Warner Brothers releases that Suicide Squad game, which is a live service piece of shit. And Warner Brothers, looking at both of those games, decides, let's go down the Suicide Squad route and go for more live service games. They had the best-selling game of the year. Like, I know, I understand, and I agree there's a lot of factors as to why that was the best-selling game, mostly because of the ones it was competing against were at their fucking lowest points, right? Being COD and FIFA. But it still was number one at the end of the day. And Warner Brothers decided to go with their fucking failure over their success and said commit to that path.
Yep.
And even with fucking Suicide Squad being a live service game and those seasons coming out, which I think everyone only thinks this game's going to last until the end of the year, which is the shit they've already got planned out. Selling all of that, I don't think it's going to make as much money as Hogwarts Legacy.
No.
And it probably cost a fucking bit more as well.
Yeah, it's not. Well, dude, this is the thing. EA looks smarter than these fucking pricks, because at least EA, when they did a single player success, instead of making a live service, the sequel, they just did a sequel to that game. Imagine that. When they did their Star Wars game, it was a success, and they actually learned from that and went, oh yeah, people, because remember, before that game, they were saying no one wants a single player game. Then they proved themselves wrong, like Respawn proved it wrong, by literally doing a single-player Star Wars game. And then what did they do? They did a sequel. The sequel was bad. It was broken. But they still did a sequel, and it was successful. Like, it sold. Retards bought it. Still broken. And these cunts are doing the opposite of that. And honestly, Hogwarts Legacy 2 would probably sell a lot better than a Star Wars sequel nowadays, right now, as well. You know what I mean? Like, it was gonna... The Hogwarts Legacy broke records. Like, it was the first non-COD game in years to actually be number one or something, right? Or in that...
And
in
FIFA.
that, yeah. It's crazy how these companies never learn.
Yep.
Sad state of affairs.